Hello everyone, my name is Celline Claudia. I'm a student in International Management batch 2019 at Economic and Business Faculty, Universitas Tanjung Pura. So today I would like to tell you and explain you about speaking and writing topics. So as we know that it is really important to know how to become a good speaker and a good writer. So in this occasion, I would like to tell you some tips about how to become a good speaker and a good writer. Speaking and writing are two of the most important skills for a manager because as a manager they must stand up in front of the audience and deliver a presentation. And to communicate effectively in writing, whether in formal business letters, email correspondence, or detailed reports. For both speaking and writing, clear thinking, preparation, and practice are the key to success. So the first one is speaking section. The topics are planning the speech, developing visual support, improving confidence, and delivering speech. First, planning speech. Preparing for a business presentation is the most important stage of the process. While it may seem daunting at first, planning speech becomes much more easier if we break the task down into structural steps, ensuring that all the important points are delivered well. In planning speech, we need to preparing our speech. So there are several steps to preparing a speech. Is that the first one? Compose a thesis statement. Write in a one-sentence declaration of what you want the audience to know, understand, believe, or do. And then the second step is that develop the main points. Restrict yourself to just 2 or 3 main points so that you will have time to explain and support them all. And then the third one is gather support materials. Now, gather evidence to support your main points. Use your knowledge of the audience to select the kinds of proof that they will find most convincing. And then the fourth one is think about the structure. Consider the order in which you will deliver information. And think about what you will say in your introduction, in the body of the speech, and in your conclusion. The fifth, prepare your outline. Write in a one-page outline of your speech. Think about the issues you plan to raise and the evidence you will offer your audience in support of those ideas. And then the sixth is that consider visual. Think about what visual will best enhance your speech by helping to explain, reinforce, and clarify your main points. And then the seventh is that write the speech. Now prepare the content of your speech in detail. Some people choose to write in a short bullet point. Others write their script out more fully. And then the eighth is that prepare your notes. Finally, transfer your speech into the notes you will use to deliver it. This may be bullet points on a PowerPoint presentation, written notes on note cards, or the full manuscript. Next, developing visual support. Good visuals have a number of characteristics in common. The most important is simplicity. The more complex a visual display becomes, the more difficult it is for an audience to understand. Keep your visual clear, ordered, and simple when trying to explain an important idea or relationship. Good visuals use color to explain and attract. And developing visual support also can help explain, reinforce, and clarify the spoken word during a presentation. If you cannot say something easily, you may be able to show it to your audience. Some people pay more attention to what they see than what they hear. and can more quickly and easily recall information and concepts with a visual component than those that are just spoken aloud. People tend to recognize ideas most easily when they are presented as a combination of both words and pictures, rather than when presented as either words or pictures alone. The tips for using visual effectively. The first one is know the needs and interests. Thinking carefully about the needs and interests of your audience as you plan your visual aids. The second one is capture the essence. Choosing visual that capture the essence of your main points. And then the third one is color coded and group it together. Using color in a consistent, careful manner so that related items are color coded and grouped together. The next one is simple, clean, and uncluttered. Making sure your visual support is simple, clean, and uncluttered. And then the next one is using more powerful message. Limiting the amount of text alongside your visual to a few keywords. This will produce a more powerful message than wordy slides. The third topic about speaking section is that improving confidence. There are three kinds of important points. Is that the first one, improving our delivery, and then the second one is using notes, and the third one is gaining confidence. Improving our delivery. Rehearsal will help improve the speech and raise our level of self-confidence. A run-through or two will show whether we have too much, too little, or just enough to say. Rehearsal will also help improve your transition. By practicing speech, we will be able to identify the rough spots and work on smoothing the transitions from one point to another and from one part of the speech to the other. The second one is using notes. The best speaker seems to confidently deliver their speech without preparation or from the heart, without notes. Such speech aren't really memorized word to word, but rather are truly researched and professionally supported. Many speakers will use their visual support, usually PowerPoint slides, to prompt their memories. Others prefer to work from bullet points on note cards or use the full manuscript. Whichever we choose, make sure that our notes are simple, easy to follow, and allow us to maintain eye contact with the audience. The last is gaining confidence. The better prepared we are, the more confident we will feel at the podium. Make sure we have thought about all aspects of our presentation, from the layout of the room to the type of microphone we will use. The knowledge that we have personally arranged every detail and have planned well will help build your confidence. Trust in your ability, intelligence, and confidence to deliver an effective speech. The last of speaking section topics is about delivering speech. Improving your delivery as you approach the challenge of becoming an accomplished public speaker. Keep in mind that no one is born with a great public speaking ability. Language is the habit of a lifetime, and your ability to speak with the conviction and sincerity is a function of your willingness to work at it. Your skills will improve with every speech that you make, and as you master the art of presentation, chances are that others in a position of influence will notice and reward you for your effort. Your ability to speak with conviction and sincerity is a function of your willingness to work at it. The ways to keep your audience interest is that the first one is make a connection. Step up to the trend, breathe deeply, smile, think positively, and speak. The second one is humanize and personalize. your speech, share your experience, values, goals, and fears. Do your best to be one of them, and then use humor where appropriate. And then the next one is actively involve the audience as much as you can, so we need to interact with the audience. And then the last is focus on current local events and issues known to the audience. Next is help them to understand. The ways is that blueprint the speech. Tell the audience where your talk is going. The second one is begin with the familiar, then move to the unfamiliar. And then the third one is talk process first, then add in the detail. Next is visualize and demonstrate your ideas where you can. And next one is summarize your key point as you progress through a speech. Give example to illustrate your concepts or idea. And tell stories and dramatize your central theme. Writing section. So the topics are becoming a better writer, writing a business letter, using emails and text effectively, and then the last is writing reports. The first topic is about becoming a better writer. Good business writing is simple, clear, and concise. By not calling attention to itself, good writing is transparent, helping the reader focus on the idea we are trying to communicate rather than on the words that we are using to describe it. The key to good business writing is organization. We need to know where we are going before we start, so do our research and identify the key issues we need to cover. Writing for clarify when composing a memo, letter, or report. Keep in mind that our reader often doesn't have much time, such as a senior manager, in particular, generally have tight schedule and too much to read. They need our written communication to quickly and clearly give them the details they need to know. Use simple, down-to-earth words and avoid needless ones and wordy expressions. Simple words and expressions are more quickly understood and can add power to the ideas. Make sure that everything right in grammatically correct and keep out the paragraph short. Next one is make sure that our writing is vigorous and direct, connecting with the reader, made up short sentence, and free of clinks and jargon. The second topic is about writing a business letter. A letter should be informal and organized. Brevity is desirable, but you can't overdo it. Make absolutely sure that your reader has enough information to understand the subject. The tips are, the first is hitting the right tone. If a correspondent make a joke, play along. Show that you have a sense of humor too. However, consider the culture of your audience and keep in mind that some humor may not translate well. If you have to deliver bad news by letter, say you are sorry. And then the second one is keep a cool head. Never write and quickly send off an angry letter. Take your time and cool down before you compose an angry letter. Then, if you have written something you aren't sure about, wait until the following day so that you can reread it before sending. Next, the topic is using emails and text effectively. Email is now a key means of staying in touch, passing data and graphics, and managing the flows of information needed to run a business. Text or SMS messaging, when properly managed, can also become a productivity booster, a direct, interactive link to the customer, and an essential tool to communicate with other staff. limit the time you spend on email by following these tips. Send less, get less. Think carefully about whether you really need to draft new message or respond to those you have already received. Escape the endless reply loop. Silence in response to an email message may feel rude, but is acceptable. Avoid asking any question for which you don't really want or need to answer. Keep it short. If you need more than 3 paragraphs, call instead or send the material on attachment. Developing a good email habits is that don't check your email constantly. Check it regular interval, such as first thing in the morning, once after lunch, and again before going home. Be disciplined about your email management. Aim to handle each message just once. If it is unimportant or irrelevant, hit the delete key. If a message is something that you'll need to respond to, decide whether to do it now or later, when you will have the time and information you need. Once you have responded, move the message out of your inbox and into an archive folder. The last topic about writing section is writing reports. Reports are longer and more comprehensive than most of documents and are written from the purpose of documenting action, describing projects and events, and capturing information on complex issues. They are often written by more than one person for audience with multiple needs and interests. Busy business leaders may only read the executive summary of a report, so it must tell them all they need to know in order for them to understand your recommendation. So, dividing your report into sections, the first one is title page. A single page containing the full title of the reports, the names of the authors, the date of issue, and the name of the organization to which the report submitted. Next is abstract. A paragraph that summarizes the major points. It enables a reader to decide whether to read the entire work. And then the next one is table of contents. A list of all the headings within the report in order of their appearance, along with a page number for each. And then the next one is list of figures and tables. Report with more than 5 figures or tables should include a page listing each one with its page number. Next one is foreword. An introductory statement usually written by an authority figure. It provides background information and places the reports in the content of other works in the field. And then the next one is preface. This describes the purpose, background, or scope in the report. Next one is executive summary. This provides more information than the abstract and enables readers to scan the report's primary points. These summaries are usually restricted to a few pages. Main text. These form the main body of the report and explain your work and its findings. Next one is conclusion. This contains not only concluding remarks but also any recommendation action for the readers. The next one is bibliography. A listing of all the sources consulted to prepare the report. It may also suggest additional reading and resources. Next one is appendix. Information that supplements the main report as evidence, such as lists, tables or figures, and charts and graphs. Next one is glossary. An alphabetical list of definitions of unusual terms used. The last is index. An alphabetical list of topics with the page number. That's all my explanation about writing and speaking materials, and I hope you will understand well about my explanation, and if there is a question you can ask me.